Denise Sawyer is live in Ocean City.
That was Denise Sawyer reporting.
What exactly took place before this building behind me went up in flames? Police say the suspect entered into this home behind me where the windows, he says, were duct taped. Instead of driving with just one person in the car, they're carpooling, but that's not stopping thousands of cars. Karen, if it sounds like deja vu all over again, that's because it is. Karina, that's right. 25 feet is the magic number. Steve, some were surprised to hear Shepherd's Crook volunteers were out on 3rd Street giving out food and clothing just a week after the deadly church fire. The websites aren't hard to find. A simple Google search for revenge porn will take you to several websites where angry exes can post nude or close to nude photos of their previous loved ones.
There's photos of just me standing there with my boyfriend, and then there's pictures of me completely naked.
24-year-old Jillian Gasque was a victim of the so-called revenge porn.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that somebody would do something like that.
Gasque says after a tough breakup, she believes an ex-boyfriend wanted to get even, so he posted naked photos of her to the web.
It's not fair for somebody to have to go through that just because somebody's mad at, like their ex-boyfriend's mad at them.
And it gets worse. She says he sent a link to this website where hundreds of exes are put on display to her family, friends, and current boyfriend. It's vindictive, cruel, and if one Maryland lawmaker has his way, it will soon be illegal. Delegate John Cardin of Baltimore County has proposed a new legislation to criminalize non-consensual disclosure of sexually explicit pictures and videos.
I used to see people reading the newspaper while they were driving.
Todd Crosby has spotted drivers snapping photos of themselves. Those photos are called selfies, and some drivers were posting them to the web while cruising down the road.
I don't care what it's a photo of. There's nothing on this planet that's that interesting that's worth risking your life and the life of the people around you.
Those self-portrait artists aren't shy about sharing their photos. Here, Instagram shows close to 4,000 pictures. Ironically, some drivers tag their selfies, "I hope I don't crash." Worcester County Sheriff's Office warned the seconds you use to post a picture could be deadly.
I mean, you could be riding down the road and then all of a sudden, out of the corner of your eye, catch a glimpse of a deer or a small child if you're in a residential neighborhood or even out in the country. And it's there before you know it.
According to the Department of Transportation, more than 3,300 fatalities every year are caused by distracted driving.
It's not worth it. You might get a great snapshot, but it's not going to be enough to keep you entertained when you're laying in the hospital.
Growing up, I couldn't get enough of it.
Chris Maxa doesn't live on the boardwalk. He lives with the boardwalk.
These are the actual boards from the Ocean City boardwalk.
It came the time to replace the OC boardwalk, and Chris had first dibs.
I didn't want to see this wood be destroyed, so
he bought it, all of it. Now pieces of his childhood memory sits in his backyard. But he's not just holding on to all of it. Chris is selling most of it. This piece of wood could break up into about 8 to 10 pieces, which could bring Chris about $200. So he's marking, chopping, and smoothing out the edges of his growing business.
It's just started to explode. You know, I guess I'm pretty lucky. A light bulb went off. You know, it's not a job. It's worth every minute.
The wood at this boardwalk has changed, but the memories will live forever, tucked away in his backyard. The former police chief of Crisfield finds himself on the wrong side of the law. Crisfield police say 58-year-old Norman Swift smashed the window of a truck at this car shop around 11 o'clock Sunday night before driving off with stolen car parts.
He probably has arrested people for doing the same thing.
Barbara Stewart says she remembers when Swift was enforcing the law instead of breaking it.
You wonder why in the world would he do something like that, knowing that he was probably going to get caught.
And police say he tried to get away from this auto repair shop with over $1,000 worth of stolen goods, but he didn't get far. Police say Swift was pulled over and the items allegedly stolen were found in his truck, along with a revolver and rifle.
It's shocking.
Bill Hurley lives in Crisfield. He says he's in disbelief.
It's very shocking for something like that to happen, especially in a small community like this.
Police say this is not Swift's first run-in with the law. They say he ran the police department back in the 90s, but stepped down as police chief after facing criminal charges. Police say in 1990, investigators raided Swift's home and found unmarked criminal evidence, including drugs.
When he's been in the law enforcement business for so long, you don't understand it.
As Swift sits behind bars, some locals in Crisfield hope he gets back on the right side of the law.